Hello there, it's Eliza. I'm out on my walk through my neighborhood, and I was thinking about going live when I got home, and I thought, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to go ahead and go live while I'm on my walk, so I apologize, I guess it's going to be a little bumpy. The thing I wanted to talk about is, first the question, do you find yourself in judgment? And if you're like me or my clients or my students or anybody else that I happen to know, hey Deb, let me know where you're here, that you're here and where you're watching from. If you're like anybody I know or that I work with, the answer would be like, yeah. Much as I hate to admit it, right? But there's so many places to be in judgment right now. There's as our country's starting to open up, as our world's starting to open up, there's judgment about those who wear masks and judgment about those who don't wear masks and judgment about those who need to go to work, and judgment's rampant. But here's my question, or maybe it's not a question so much as it's maybe a thought process. If you notice you're in judgment, just first, number one, just notice it, right? Without judgment of yourself, because that's double judgment. And that doesn't do anybody any good either. So, a little bit out of breath here. Thought I was on a downhill slope. Maybe I wasn't. Anyway, when you notice that you're in judgment, what can you do? First thing is notice what you notice. Just notice where the judgment comes. And then look underneath it. What is it I'm in judgment of? Well, for me, I've been doing this great body of work called Eye of the Storm with a small group of people. Hey, Babs. Hey, Keith. Let me know where you're watching from, guys. And it's all about if you have a judgment, right, then it's about there's nothing against you. There's no one and nothing against you. So if you have a judgment, it's there for you, and it's there for you to look at something. So my suggestion is, if you notice that you're in judgment, ask yourself what's going on. Like, what's underneath my judgment? And what's underneath that thing that I find? And what's underneath that? And become really, really curious. And go, oh, I have a judgment about this, X, Y, or Z, because I think it means A, B, and C if X, Y, and Z. You see how you go? And so you unravel it a little bit. And as you unravel your judgment, you can begin to find your center. And when you find your center, what you can find, especially in this new humanity, is this clarity. Hey, Jab. This clarity of being. And your clarity is never about anybody else. It's only for you right here and right now. But once you find your clarity, then what you can also find is compassion and understanding. Understanding not that what somebody else thinks makes sense to you, but understanding that everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own research. I'm going to stop. This is a hill. And when you understand, like, deep in the center of your being, that everybody's doing the best they know how, then your compassion opens. And then you become really aware that the only thing you have to do is to take care of you and do the best you can do. And when you notice from that place that you're in judgment, you can simply release it with a statement, with a question, with an observation. Wow, I don't understand. But I cannot understand without judgment. I can understand that nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen with this virus. Nobody knows what's going to happen when we open up. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And so if you can find a place of freedom in that and go, wow, nobody knows. I don't know. And with I don't know, then I can be free to be me and make the choices, the best choices I can make from the depth of my own being for this moment, and this moment, and this moment, and this moment. I was working with a client earlier today, and she works in a in a position that's about to open up or planning on opening up, and she's like adamant that that's not a good idea, but she's not the decision maker. So she's like, how do I reconcile that, right? How do I reconcile what I know to be true with the job that they're asking me to do, which is counter to what I know to be true? And so the work was really what I just shared. Find that compassion, release the judgment, and do the best that you can do in any given moment for your highest good, which has to be the highest good of the world. And so the affirmation that we used was something along the lines of, it was hers, but something along the lines of, I do the best I can do in any given moment for my highest good and the highest good of the world. Doesn't that feel good? And then that makes everybody else none of your business, except for when it is. But generally speaking, it's not. So when you notice that you're in judgment, never have traffic on this road. When you notice that you're in judgment, just notice it. Find your center, drop beneath the judgment, open your heart, open your mind, and find that clarity and compassion. And then let me know how that works for you. Hey, Jocelyn, I'm just finishing up, so hopefully go back and watch the replay. I think it was really, really good. I'm Eliza on my walk. It's kind of a cloudy, hot and humid day. It's not even very hot, but here we are, signing off for now. See y'all later.